Hi, welcome. This is Amalia from CraftyDreamsStudio. Today we're going to be working with the Be Humble and Kind transfer. This is a great transfer. It comes with lots of cool pieces. We have this little crown, we have a bee, we have the word queen bee. It does come with Humble and Kind, as well as a couple of other pieces. For example, this beautiful little honeycomb says be happy, and then the one underneath there says hive rules. So it is a really neat transfer. Today we're just going to be working with the big bee and queen bee and the crown. Alright, let's get started. We're going to be working with our Couture inks today. I'm going to be using the yellow, which is called Bumblebee, very appropriate. And then I'm also going to be using our gold metallic. This is a gorgeous color. It's called Shimmering Gold. And I'll be using that for the crown. Okay, let's get started. I've already put our Couture inking mat to protect my shirt on the underside. Okay, so I have that where I want it, and it's nice and smooth. I have nice smooth application. And the inking mat is great because it holds your shirt in place. Okay, let's start with the bee. And of course, you know I'm going to fuzz it. And since I'm putting it on fabric, I don't have to fuzz it too much. And I'm going to put that. I think I want it about right there. I believe that's pretty centered. I'm kind of just going off the shirt itself. Let's see, I'm gonna lift that up. Yep, that looks good to me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put queen bee. I'm gonna put queen bee right underneath it. Now, before I do that, if you notice, there is not a lot of space between the bottom part of the bee and that. So I'm going to tape it off, just that little section, just to make sure that I give myself a little extra room. And then I'm actually going to have to wait for the queen bee part because the tape is going to go on part of that. All right, so we can do that. We'll start with that. And let me go ahead and I'm going to tape off the sides and the top to make sure I don't go off my transfer. When you're using ink, it is important not to go off the transfer, because if you do, ink is permanent. Our Couture ink is permanent. So let me put that here. Now, when you tape off, another thing that's very important is make sure your edges are really firm. One time I taped off and I hadn't pressed down, and so when I went like this, some of my ink bled. So you have to make sure you have good contact all the way around, so that if you do go off the transfer, that paint doesn't sneak underneath the tape, or the ink, excuse me. So there we go. For that, I'm going to be using our yellow. And I'm going to open it off to the side, because once again, if I open it and I fumble it, I don't want to get any on the shirt where I don't want it. And this is what it looks like. And now I'm just going to stir. And once again, I'm going to kind of do it off over here, off to the side, only because I don't want to accidentally drop any on my shirt. All right, here we go. I'm going to be using my angled squeegee, which is, I love to use the angled squeegee for large areas like this. And then I'm going to put my ink far off to the side. All right, here we go. So you want to press firmly. so that you get good coverage. I want to get good coverage. And then I'm going to remove the excess. And it can go all back into my container. So I do not waste any ink. All right, there we go. Let's do the reveal. Oop, make sure my hands are clean. Oh, take a look at that. That came out awesome. Ooh, I love it. Okay, there we go. Look at the detail in those wings. Oh, it came out perfect. Okay, now I want to make sure to get my transfer into some water. I have a container off here to the side where I'm going to stick my bee transfer in. Okay, so now I'm going to press this back down. Because I'm going to do my queen bee now, my words. And I want to make sure I have a nice smooth surface to work on. So now I'm just going to simply go right underneath. And I think I want to move it over just a smidge. Pressing down, nice and firm. Okay, I think this one, ooh, I think I'm going to be brave and I'm not going to put any tape. Okay, here we go. And if I'm using a smaller squeegee to make sure that I stay within the area that I want to stay in. I think I need a little more. So far, looking good. Now I'm just going to remove the excess. And this is what I like to call cleanup, because we're just cleaning up any ink that we're not using, all the extra ink. Okay, here we go. Let me get that out of the way. And then I'm just picking it up from a corner. Oh, look at that. That looks so good. Then I'm going to put this in water. Now, I do want to do a crown. So I need to make sure that I get it dry enough so that I can put the crown. So I'm going to use my heating tool. I'm sorry for the noise, but I need to have this corner of the bee nice and dry so that I can place the crown on there. So, when you're doing this, you can let it dry on its own. You know, just give it a couple hours or so, that way it's good and dry. You can run a hair dryer over it, or if you have a heating tool, there's an embossing tool, you can run that over it. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and just use my heating tool. Now this does not set the ink. Once I have my shirt completely done the way I want, Then I'm going to let it dry completely, and then I need to heat set it. And if you have Easy Press by Cricut, or if you have a heat press, you can use that and just follow the directions to set it. Normally it's about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on the material you're setting, at about 325 or 350. Or you can use an iron. If you use an iron, the recommended time is about 4 minutes, simply because, you know, when you're using an iron, you're moving it around and you don't have concentrated heat in one area. So it's 4 minutes on the front and then 4 minutes on the back, and then you do need something in between. So for example, you can use the parchment paper between your iron and the shirt. I think that's good. I think we shall see. All right, there we go. Now for my crown. And I'm going to fuzz this up too. Oh, I just love the way that looks. Okay. And I think I want the crown kind of off to the side like this. Let's see. I think about right there. So hopefully I got it good and dry. We shall find out. Actually, let's see. Do I want it there? Yeah, let's go for it there. I was thinking I might put it down here over the Q, which that could be really cute also. So many choices. All right, so many options. Okay, I think I'm going to have it on the actual bee. Let's do that. And this is our gold. It is just gorgeous. I'm going to kind of stir it off to the side. Once again, I don't want to accidentally drip any on the shirt in an area where I don't want any. Okay, and I'm going to take another one of these. And then carefully do the crown. I just love the crisp images our transfers give us. And how quick and easy they are. So the more you press, the darker concentration of ink that you get. Okay. Now time for cleanup. There we go. Again, making sure my hands are clean. Oh, how cool is that? I love it. That came out so good. Let me get my transfer into some water. There we go. And ta-da, there we go. Queen bee. Take a look at that. That came out gorgeous. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like I said, now I'm going to let it dry completely. Then I'm going to use my Easy Press to set it. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day or night, wherever you're at.